freedom stands, with a Bible in my hand and a prayer in my heart. Living this life where the wild plays its part. Dust on my boots and my hat pulled low. Got my trusty rifle and I'm ready to go. Hunting the game as the sun hits the sky. In the heart of the 701, I feel so alive. Guns and the 701, that's how we roll. Faith in the good Lord, that's how we hold. The line of the legacy that runs through our veins. In this wild, wild land where the spirit remains. We're living free, living bold, side by side, with God on our plate and our hearts open wide. Ranching the fields, the cattle run free, with a purpose so strong, it's our grand legacy. The rivers run deep as we cast out our lines, fishing the waters where the North Star shines. Got the warmth of the sun with the chill of the night. With every shot fired, we're ready to fight for the freedom we cherish. The second is true. With family beside us, we stand through and through. Guns in the 701, that's how we roll. Faith in the good Lord, that's how we hold. The line of the legacy that runs through our veins. In this wild, wild land where the spirit remains. We're living free, living bold, side by side, with God on our plate and our hearts open wide. In a world that's spinning with sins that they wield, we stick to our values. Our fate is revealed with the word as our guide. We tread on the earth, a community built from the love, not the curse. Raising our voices, singing loud through the night, for God and our freedom, we'll continue the fight. Let the rifles ring out, let the spirits align. In North Dakota's embrace, our souls intertwine. So when you hear the gunshots and feel that proud sound, know it's faith and freedom that echoes around. From the fields of the ranch to the depths of the lake, with God on our side, there's nothing at stake. Guns and the 71 forever will stand in the heart of our faith in this great free
Wow, that was a banger, man. I love that song. Every time I listen to it, I'm just like, holy, that was good. That was good. Obviously, go ahead.
No.
No, I was going to tell the folks, obviously, I am not Clay. So Clay had a bit of an emergency, and he called us up and said, hey, can you handle this? And, we're happy to do it. Guns in the 701 Network. We're a network. We're a family of folks.
Right.
So we help each other out a bit. Just before we got on air here, I was telling Vance, you got the 8-year-old up there and he's yelling, and I had to kind of mute my mic to yell. You start out like parents. I don't know if this is you. Give me a head nod if it is. You start out and you're like the whole gentle parenting. You're like Eli, let me understand where you're coming from. What's with all this energy? What's blah blah blah? Explain it to me. By the 10 minutes after that, you're right back to the South, man. You're like, hey, get upstairs right now, right now, get there.
Yep.
And I'm
Yep,
sorry.
that's right. My
Yeah, that's
youngest
life,
is
man.
we have 4 between us, and there's my youngest is 28. My youngest child is 30.
Mm.
I have grandkids older than your kids, man.
Oh Jesus! No, I have a 27-year-old.
Oh,
So we
okay.
have 4.
Oh, okay.
Eli is our youngest. We have, I think, the 27-year-old, the 25-year-old, the 23-year-old, and Eli, the
Oh,
8-year-old.
okay. You ain't no rookie at this.
Oh no. Oh no, buddy. And trust me, I've calmed down a lot. Like Eli gets warnings. Like my older kids, they come over here and they just can't believe the stuff Eli gets away with.
Yeah.
Like, wait, he's got guns in his room? He's got bow and arrows in his room? You know, that he gets a dog? What? You know, that sort of
Things
stuff.
get
But
easier with the younger ones. I mean, I remember raising our kids, and by the time we got to the youngest and was raising him, you know, we're a little older, a little like to think we're a little bit wiser, a little more financially stable, and it's just easier to do things for the younger one. And you've learned from making mistakes with the older ones.
exactly. That's exactly what I tell my kids. I'm like, hey, when we had you guys, we were living in like a little 2-bedroom apartment. We
Pretty
had
much
2
kids
times.
ourselves. I mean,
Yeah, you couldn't run. You could like Eli gets to run and yell and hop off of things and run around outside because well, we got acres and acres out here. So, you know,
yeah.
it's a whole different dynamic and definitely a lot smarter. So, you know, it is what it is. But
Yeah.
they come over here, they get all wee-weed up. But anyway, this is the Guns in the 701. This is Vance Bishop. I am Leon Francis. I host Blackbeard Logic. We'll be hosting tomorrow. I'm waiting on a phone call. I will be uh, speaking with my buddy Michael Coachman tomorrow. I thought I was going to have another guest who's running for District 41 out of South Fargo, and I'm still waiting on that call back. So I'll let you guys know like tomorrow in my social media, you know, whether that's going through or if it's just going to be me and Michael Coachman kind of chopping it up and having fun. It's always a good time. Still mad at my buddy Bob Wheeler for bailing on me and going to Arizona, but you know it's all good. It's all good. I'm not gonna. It's a term from my ghetto days. It's all gravy, baby. You know. Anyway, so we had this setup when it was going to be all 3 of us, and
Mhm.
Clay had a couple days back had mentioned this whole gun show deal. Let me see. I'm gonna pull it up here, and I had that as my first topic to talk about. Now, granted, when Clay mentioned this to me, man, he was hot. He was very hot.
Yeah.
He's like, how? And like him just explaining it to me, I was hot myself because, uh, and if you guys haven't heard, here I'll throw something up here. Give me a second. If you guys haven't heard, the Mac gun shows are implementing some new policies. Here, I'm going to throw this up here. So, the gun show safety, what attendees need to know, that whole thing, gun show safety isn't just lip service. Yeah, let me get that out of there now because I wanna unpack a couple of things and like one of the things that Clay and I spoke about was the fact that they don't want loaded guns in there. And that's my dad. we're going to be dealing with this. Give me. Okay. All right. There we go. I got a circus here, man. I got the 8-year-old. I got the 90-year-old. I'm just trying to keep it together. I'm trying to keep it sane right now. But yeah, so like a guy like me, I don't go anywhere unarmed. So what they're telling me is they don't want my business.
Exactly.
That's the way it comes across to me.
Yeah.
Some of this stuff, like just some of the language in there, to me seems like language that the left uses, the anti-gun folks use.
Yeah.
And to my knowledge, like I am a gold member at Bill's shooting club, Triple RMC, a couple of other shooting clubs out this way. I've never seen or even heard of an incident out there, you know, at any like everybody's respectful. Everybody's got firearms. Everybody is level-headed. Now, when I was speaking to Clay, I was thinking, like we were simpatico. Oh, this is an outrage. This is idiotic. Blah blah blah. But I'm going to throw something at you, Vance, and I hope this doesn't blindside you. I've seen an uptick in liberals with firearms. They're not trained. They don't have the etiquette that we have.
Yeah.
And so thinking this over, kind of mulling it over for the past couple days, and Clay has no idea. I was going to spring this on him, but now I got you. So
I agree. I've seen, I find it funny. I've seen a lot of these protests and these protesters, paid employees of George Soros, out there with their guns at some of these protests. And I've seen some of them literally that had shotguns strapped across with the belt, carrying a .22 rifle.
Yep, I've seen that.
With their fingers on the trigger.
Yep.
And just the most horrible display of gun etiquette you could ever possibly imagine. But we're the bad guys. We're trained. We practice safe firearm safety, gun safety. I say gun. I know that's not politically correct these days, just like saying killed.
Yep.
Unalive is the new term we're supposed to use. I don't believe in all that mess. But but the responsible ones are the bad guys. And this is the preacher in me. The Bible tells us that in the end times, we're going to see people are going to be calling the good bad and the bad good, be calling evil good and good evil. And we're seeing that all over the place, from the smallest things to the largest of things. And us law-abiding citizens, mostly, are being portrayed as the bad guys. If we were the bad guys, we have over trillions of rounds of ammunition out there in this country that we own, and millions of guns. If we were the problem, you'd know.
100%.
But anytime there is a problem, a mass shooting or anything like that, it's usually not some conservative, law-abiding, legal, passionate gun collector like us, or avid hunters, or things like that. People like us. It's not us. We're prepared to defend ourselves against them, but we are not out there carelessly carrying our firearms around and having accidents. I carry a gun all over and I'm gonna be honest, places that they say you shouldn't carry a gun, but that's why they call it concealed carry.
I am the exact same way. Like, if you see me, I'm armed. Like, there is no time that you cast your peepers on me and I'm not armed.
Right.
And we've talked about this before. It's because I have a family to protect and provide for. Even if I'm out by myself, I got to get home to them, because I'm not leaving them, because I'm unarmed and, something happens and I can't defend myself. I think that that's wrong. I think that me not protecting me so I can get back here is wrong on my part. It's unmanly on my part. So that's where I am.
Now, how do you think if we were me, you, and Clay go out to dinner? We're at a steakhouse somewhere. We're with our families, all armed, and people see our guns. A couple liberals, oh, those guys with guns, they're running their gums. Somebody comes in, we jump up with our guns, and we are able to defend them. How are they going to feel then? Or should we just not defend them and let the chips fall where they may?
Yeah, I'm stopping the threat. I am retarding the threat. That's another word that you're not supposed to say anymore. But and I agree, Eric. If I don't have a gun within arm's reach or on me, I feel naked. Yeah, nobody wants to see that, brother. But anyway, I get where you're coming from. Their rules, Axel says, their rules don't apply any more than the signs. 100%. The ones that say no firearms allowed when I'm concealed carrying. Yeah, the criminal that's going to walk in there and do something bad, he disregards that with deadly consequences. So I'm not going to be a mindless sheep, victim of that very stupid policy. So now I'm not going to go. Now, granted, if I see that sign and I walk in there, my firearm will be concealed because I just don't want the headache. But like when Jamie came to Fargo and we went to the to Sickies, like my gun's on my hip, I take my jacket off, it's sitting right there. So, and I'm bringing my son up the same way. He knows. Like my son will be brought up with a healthy fear and knowledge of firearms and how to handle them when they're appropriate and all of that. And because we homeschool, he also has, like when he goes to take his hunter safety, he's going to ace that thing. He's going to be able to sleep through. When they ask him, hey, show me a field carry, he's going to be like 100% on point with that. And I think that's the way we should be. We shouldn't be this country that is like you said. I saw protesters out there with little 22s, but they were modded up, so they looked like they were scary. I'm looking at the thing and I'm like, that's not it.
They had plate. They had
plate carriers.
No plate carriers with no plates in them.
Yeah, they were. Oh my God! These people are just so stupid. But it does concern me that they feel like now they need to arm up because, again, our mindset is keep our powder dry, get back home to our families. We're not going to be out there like in the streets rioting and that sort of thing. Things that put you actively in a dangerous situation.
Yeah.
And they're not trained.
Yeah.
They're not.
And people that have never, without getting too deep into my past, I've been on both ends of the barrel, literally, in sticky situations that I put myself ignorantly in long before I was responsible. And these people that think they're going to go out there and shoot it up, I'll blow your head off and all this stuff. And that's where you find out if you got the grit. Many people that have been in gunfights, most people will tell you it's not a matter. And I'm an Old West buff. I love the Old West. I love old Westerns, and I read about the Old West historically, so that it ain't all Hollywood. But I love the Old West. And you read stories about the old gunfighters, the guys who were actually good with their guns. They all say the same thing. It's not a matter of how good of a shot I am. It's a matter of having the grit to pull that trigger. Because a lot of them don't. Because when you face off with somebody, it's a lot different situation than watching a movie or playing a video game.
Yeah.
And a lot of people can't fathom that until they're in that situation. You just can't. I mean, you don't know what you're going to do until you're in that situation. And when you've been in that situation, you look at things a little differently. Last thing I ever want to do is pull my gun and aim it at somebody.
Yep.
It's the last thing I ever want to do on earth is pull the trigger on someone, because you're going to change their life and yours forever.
100%.
So many people think that, oh, I can just pop a cap in you. You're going to have to live with that for the rest of your life, that you just took somebody's life. They might be one of the biggest scumbags on earth. But as for me, as a Christian, I just killed somebody that Jesus died for, whether I liked them or not. So there's a lot, for me anyway, there's a lot of variations in the area of self-defense. Yes, I will defend. Yes, I will do what I have to do. Do I want to hurt anybody? No, last thing I ever want to do.
Yep.
So I think it's funny that we have all these people that are living in mommy's basement, acting like they're going to go out and shoot people, and they've probably never even been punched in the face.
Which is a big problem in America. Too few people of a certain age have been punched in the face. Me, look at my nose.
Yeah. Mine's been broke 4 times. These glasses sit crooked.
But yeah, my wife, and she's got a huge heart, and like, and I've told this story before. When that guy at Mall of America threw that kid off just walked up to a random kid, picked him up, threw him off the second or third story balcony. Mm-hmm. I told her then, you got to train. We're buying you a gun, this and that. But I do not expect her, and nor would she ever want to, in a situation, face off with a gunman. Her job is to hide with Eli.
Right.
And only if that threat is advancing on you and there is no other way out is she to even pull
That's right.
her firearm. Because, again, I couldn't imagine. Like, Nick, when we kill those stupid, what are they, Chinese ladybugs? The ones that stink? She's like, oh, that's God's creature. I'm like, no, they're infecting the house, woman. Let's get it. Let's be real about this. So, like, if she would have to do that, it'd be, it wouldn't be a good thing for her. And then, again, when you come from a religious newfound, I have not always been like a holy roller. I'm still not one. But when you have a solid foundation in Christianity and you understand the Imago Dei, and you can see that even in a sick person, even in a possessed person, when you see that, you can't unsee it. And even in the heat of the moment, if I have to fire my firearm, I'm not hitting the legs. I'm not doing it. It's center mass, the biggest target that I can, and it won't be once or twice. It'll probably be 3 times to make sure that they're down. So in that scenario, when the adrenaline is gone and the cops and the lawyers and all of that, and I'm laying in bed at night, my head is going to be like that was a child of God.
That's right. You're going to relive it in your head.
That was somebody's son. That's right. So I don't want to. But idiot liberals kind of force the issue. Sick people. What is all this? I don't know what that is. Who that is? CC, not too many people here. Well, I don't know where you're listening from, but we're across probably 17 platforms. So the platform that you're on, you might not see that many people, but we're across like YouTube, Rumble, and several different YouTubes and Rumbles. Like my profile is Blackbeard Logic. You got the Guns in the 701. And yada yada yada. Also on Twitter, the same thing. Also on Facebook, the same thing. Also on Twitch, same thing. So there's a lot going on here,
and it's also based out of one of the least populated states in the country. So
yeah. Oh wow, that's nice. So I just put the comments up there. Leftists can't be trusted with guns. They see guns as a way to commit violence against people they disagree with, and for their anti-American leftist revolution. And that is true. Some of the things that I've seen, especially when we're talking about the protests, So far, you guys were on a good topic. Yeah, there you go.
Well, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for joining us. But yeah, I see what's going on in America right now, and I am glad I am the way that I am, and I know the folks that I know because we are trending into an ugly place.
Yeah.
Um, some of us thought with Trump coming in, things would get better, but no, nope. The way they like the rule of law being an afterthought now, that's a scary revelation in this country.
Yeah.
The amount of judges, the amount of police chiefs, the amount of people in authority that are not just willing to skirt the law, but encourage other people to skirt the law, and then the repercussions don't fit the crime, in my humble opinion. Like
Yeah.
I saw when the Minneapolis police department finally got their heads out of their rears and started, putting their hands on people. You saw those people like they weren't as bold. Like you said, they hadn't been hit in the face. I saw a girl crying for her mom because she's out there. She thinks she can't be touched.
Yeah.
But
social media has made so many people, there's so many keyboard warriors out there that want to get on here and run their mouth and sound so tough.
Yep.
But they've never been in a street fight. They've never been in a schoolyard fight. So it's easy for them to get on here and run their guns and sound like they're all tough and know what they're talking about when all they're doing is following along with the trend of the left agenda and believing what CNN tells them.
Yeah, I can't see who that is. Here, I'm going to go back up. The way it's coming across here, someone said, I'd rather go without a phone.
Yeah.
And I talked about this on one of my podcasts. My big deal is situational awareness. It's huge with me. So if I go into, I don't know, a store or whatever, my phone stays in my truck. I don't take my phone with me purposely because I don't want it to go off, and I look at it and my head is up. Like I tell the 8-year-old, head up on a swivel. Hey, what are you doing? Get your head up. Get your head up. And same thing with my wife. It's harder with women. I'm just going to throw that. That might sound sexist, but it's harder with women. With me, I have no problems not having a phone on me. Like, and many of the people that are on this thread right now, they know that. They try to call me, they try to text me. I don't know where my phone is. I'll get to it when I get to it, So yeah, that's a real good point, man. Everyone, if you're a guy, especially, I see way too many. I'm in Shields or Fleet Farm or Walmart or Costco or whatever. I see too many guys like this.
Yeah,
and they're walking. You can
very unaware of what's going on because they're
Yep.
focused in on the gadget. And I'm the same way. I'm very situational aware. I mean, when I walk into a restaurant, first thing I'm looking for is where are all the exits. I'm not going to sit with my back to the door. I want to see who's coming in, and I start scanning the room for my allies. If something goes down, I think I can trust that guy right there. He's going to be a target. You case the place.
Yeah, pick where I sit. Nick,
I remember
my
being
wife knows. Like,
I remember being in line at a state fair years ago, and I was seeing this girl and got in line, and a couple people up in front of us, I seen some strange activity, and I always watch people's hands and watch their eyes, and I said, "Get out of line. Let's go over here to the kiosk and grab a lemonade." She goes, "What's going on? We were going to get on the coaster. Let's just get out of line." We get out of line and go up to this kiosk thing. I said, just watch the guy in the red jacket. Something's going on. And sure enough, the guy behind him pulled out a knife and they started duking it out. So I just watch people. And a lot of that comes from my past when I was a teenager doing a lot of the stupid things I did back then. And when I got saved and started living a normal family life and, growing up and getting away from that life, a lot of things that I learned from that past life I can take with me and learn from, and put into play in self-defense nowadays.
That's called transferable skills. or life lessons. So,
Yeah.
old pork chop over there says, "So you're going in aggressive?" No, dude. I'm. It's not about being aggressive. I want to be a gray man. When I walk in there, like the things that I do, you won't notice that I'm doing. One. And two, I try to be as unassuming as a bearded
Right.
black dude, can be walking into an establishment.
Bearded black dude in the Dakotas. They're
Yep.
everywhere.
Yep. So that's me. I'm like, you see me. I am not aggressive. I try not to be aggressive. I don't want that energy.
And I don't open carry. I believe in everybody's right to do so. I don't have a problem with it.
Yep.
Personally, I conceal, because if someone comes in with a gun and they see my gun,
You're a
I'm going to
target.
be one of their first targets, and I'm not going to have time to respond.
Yep.
I personally choose to conceal rather than open carry, just to not cause a stir. And if someone comes in, I want to have time to duck and respond.
Yep.
And no, I do not want to be aggressive in any way, shape, or form. I want to be the most average guy, unassuming guy, like you said, in the place. But I want to be very aware of my surroundings and who I think I can count on in a situation.
Oh yeah. So, dude, Pork Chop Express. I mean, I love the name and everything, but yeah, if we came across as aggressive, that was not the intent, buddy.
No,
I am not, absolutely not that. So, getting back to these MAC conferences.
You know what? He did say, I'm sorry to interrupt, but he did say inaggressive, so he's correct.
Oh, I think the space bar might have got.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're
no,
right.
We're not aggressive, man.
We are inaggressive.
No, we do not.
So when we're talking, to bring it back to the topic, we kind of meandered a little bit. Be polite, but have plans to kill everyone. Yeah,
everyone in the room.
So these gun shows, like Clay is like hot, and he called them. I think he might have got a call back today, and he kind of went in hot a little bit. And so I guess the big guy is going to give him a call back, and I understand where he's going with that language. And again, if you see me at one of those gun shows, I'm going to be armed. It's just,
or I won't be at the gun show.
What's that?
Or I won't be there. If I can't defend myself, I'll choose to go elsewhere. And I know I brought this up to Clay, and we've done so many events together. Clay and I did, I don't know how many events we did together with the NRA. So Clay's very aware too, which is why it bothers him so much, because some of it may be a venue issue. The venue itself may not allow it, but you as the organization can say, okay, well then we will find another venue where our rights will not be, taken away from us.
Yeah. I think the creeping the language, and I'm the same way. I read into things like plain language. That's what I'm going after, and I think that's what he did. And to me, it's a little concerning when I see folks, like especially 2A folks, and I see leftist jargon creeping into like mission statements and things like that. That does give me pause. And I'm like you. Like I love Bison football. I love it. I used to go down there and be one of those guys that interview right on the field, so I had really good seats. I can't go there anymore because I'm not disarming myself to be there. Mm-hmm. So me and Eli will go to a rugby game instead. I used to sponsor the Lost Boys of NDSU. Big open field. It's rough and tough. It's football, but on steroids, because those Bucks, oh my God. and we still do baseball. I love baseball, so we'll go there. We'll find another venue that will not restrict or retard my constitutional right to protect my family and myself. Look at the stabbing that happened outside of. Oh,
Yeah. I had Dave, I had a buddy that was there when it happened. He was there, Kerry. He witnessed it. That's the only reason I know about it, because I didn't really follow along with SHOT Show this year, but he happened to tell me about it.
but dude, like I followed it. I saw a 5.56 Gatling gun that I approached my wife about, and it was only like $1,300 or something like that. But it was a hard no. So, and they have some really good, some really nice new products that are rolling out. Some of the new tech. Oh, some really nice things. Sounds like some FUDs are writing the safety rules for those. Yeah.
Well, Jenny, what gets me about this organization is, what kind of organization will allow someone to take their rights away from them? Why wouldn't you just tell the venue, okay, we'll find another venue. We're not going to put our guns down.
Yeah.
We'll just find another venue. So that makes me question the integrity, the stance that organization takes on the Second Amendment, if they're willing to put it down that easy.
Yeah, I had a big issue when they had the Republican convention in Fargo. Had a huge issue because you couldn't carry in there, and I didn't know that, so I'm like at the door, and then they're like, I'm like, wait a minute, this is the Republican convention. What are we, what are we doing here? So I've seen the slow creep in a lot of organizations, and the Republican Party, the NDGOP, is an organization.
Yeah.
But the folks that are supposed to be on our side slowly going in that direction. I saw a lot of this with the sheriff's departments. I've seen some really stupid sheriffs. I'm sorry, guys. I've seen some sheriffs that have no idea what their constitutional role or duty is, and they see themselves as bailiffs and jailers and delivering affidavits. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
And it's so much more. So even in that organization, police chiefs, I've seen some police chiefs that are just horrible.
Yeah.
And the whole DEI thing that they were doing across the country, countrywide, every time something happened and you see the police chief and it's this black woman, lesbian, and you're like, wait, what? Not the fire chiefs that I don't know how I got on this. It's the point that I'm making is a lot of organizations have been trending into that softer, gentler, more liberal mindset, and I don't think it's a good thing. Vance, what kind of thunder stick is? Yeah, I said. You remember I mentioned that.
That's just a Ruger American. It's a Gen 2 Ruger American, which is a kind of a lower end Ruger, but with good. I love the gun. It's got the fluted barrel. It's a 308, and with good optics on it. I just like that gun. I would equate it probably to like the Savage Axis, which to me also is for a cheaper package gun. I tested the Savage Axis once, me and Waylon, and I think Clay was there. We had a Savage, I want to say 270, and 4 of us got on the bench out of the box. We just took that gun out of the box, put it on the bench, and was shooting 400 yards in a 3-inch grouping, 4 different shooters. That's a good gun.
That's a good gun.
And I think it was $400. So, I'd have to say for me, some of these cheaper package guns, if you dress them up right, put good optics on them and take care of them, you got a pretty good gun. I mean, I've got some guns over there that are 5 times that, but
I like and folks that know me know this. I'm a big fan of Bear Creek, and like I started getting those fluted barrels. Oh my God, they make a huge difference in distance and accuracy. Oh my God, it's huge. Anyway, so back to we had a
Gunshows.
little bit of a show, set up for you guys. So I'm gonna hit a commercial break, and when we come back, this story. So I broke this story last weekend. I think it was Sunday. Might have been Saturday or Sunday. My phone started blowing up. It must have been midnight, and I'm looking at all these texts, and a good friend of mine, a legislator, kind of gave me the rundown on this story on this wrestler, this kid, and this family who lived way up in Nietzsche, North Dakota. Had to drive down 4 hours to pick their kid up because a week prior, some spectator walked into a gym that this kid was wrestling in. And so they pulled this kid, this junior, who had worked his butt off, who had carried his wrestling team. They pulled this kid, woke him up, pulled him out of the hotel room, and told his parents they had to come and get him. Now, I'm going to unpack that story for you. Oh, and this is all over measles. This kid was unvaccinated. Now, it's important to note that the spectator that started the whole thing, he was vaccinated, and he had measles. The unvaccinated kid, healthy as a horse, doing his thing, living his life. Parents don't believe in the in vaccinating their kids because they use the aborted fetal tissue in those and like heavy metals and a bunch of things. So they have a religious exemption, as is their right under North Dakota law. So when we come back from commercial, I'm going to unpack that for you guys. So here I got this huge screen here, and it gives me a lot of play, man. I love it. So we're gonna do this thing, I think. Oh, come on now. Well, all right. How about those Saints?
New Orleans?
Yeah, no. All right, here we go. Boom.
At Horton LaserCraft, we believe in the power of personalization. Whether it's a cherished memory, a special occasion, or a unique gift, our custom laser engraving brings your vision to life. Our expert craftsmen and state-of-the-art technology ensure every piece is a work of art. From personalized decor to one-of-a-kind keepsakes, Horton LaserCraft makes every moment unforgettable. Horton LaserCraft is owned and operated by a local veteran and his wife located near Thunderhawk, South Dakota. They provide custom laser products at a reasonable price, and their turnaround time is fast and efficient.
Custom board cutting, glassware, decanter sets, mugs, assorted stainless steel jewelry, assorted tags, decor, custom acrylic nightlights, and much, much more.
Call them up at 605-545-7535. Horton LaserCraft, where memories are engraved. LAUER Auto Repair, located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Give them a call at 701-258-6308.
The team of mechanics at LAUER Auto can take care of any problem your vehicle is having. And when you do business with LAUER, you can be assured you're doing business with a pro Second Amendment America First repair shop. There are plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area. But why take a chance at patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake.
no mistake.
Lauer Auto is your pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at Lauer Auto, don't forget to tell them that you heard they are a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our pro Second Amendment, pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 701-258-6308.
701-258-6308.
Located 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
When you want it done right,
Go where lemons go.
Kalon's Auto Service, owned and operated by Kalon and Misty Foss, lifelong locals with over 25 years experience. From modern rides to classic restorations, they can handle it all. Top quality work, fair price, and honest hometown values. Located just 1 block south of Highway 12 on 6th Avenue West in Lemmon. Kalon's Auto Service, serving you with all your auto repair needs.
For the best gun gear for every and any situation, Little Angry Man Arms LLC has you covered. Top-notch guns from top-name brands like Winchester, Glock, Sig Sauer, and Ruger to essential extras from Magpul, Streamlight, Hollow, Sun Optics, and more. Little Angry Man Arms LLC have everything to make your shooting adventures a success. Visit littleangrymanarms.com today and gear up for your next big hunt, competition, or home defense. Don't miss out on our exclusive deals. Little Angry Man Arms LLC, based in Trail City, South Dakota, your ultimate hunting partner.
At Horton LaserCraft, we believe in the power of personalization. Whether it's a cherished memory, a special occasion, or a unique gift, our custom laser engraving brings your vision to life. Our expert craftsmen and state-of-the-art technology ensure every piece is a work of art. From personalized decor to one-of-a-kind keepsakes, Horton LaserCraft makes every moment unforgettable. Horton LaserCraft is owned and operated by a local veteran and his wife located near Thunderhawk, South Dakota. They provide custom laser products at a reasonable price, and their turnaround time is fast and efficient.
Custom board cutting, glassware, decanter sets, mugs, assorted stainless steel jewelry, assorted tags, decor, custom acrylic nightlights, and much, much more.
Call them up at 605-545-7535. Horton LaserCraft, where memories are engraved.
Welcome back. Welcome back. This is Guns in the 701. I am Blackbeard Logic, Leon Francis, to the uninitiated, and I'm co-hosting this thing for Clay with Vance Bishop. He is our voice of reason. He gives us a little Jesus when we need it. Sportsman Sundays. Every Sunday, what time?
8 o'clock Central Time.
8 o'clock every Sunday. And you got to get, like, before we head out to church, that's the thing that I do. I just open it up, and while I'm doing whatever I'm doing, I'm hitting that. My father-in-law was a chiropractor, and my husband retired. Okay. Yeah. And so we're going to talk about this. This is arguably probably the biggest story, especially on the eastern part of the state. And I'm going to, so if you go to my social media, you scroll down a bit. I don't post a ton, but it is kind of far down there. I'm just going to read to you guys what I wrote. And now this was the update. Like when I first got the information, it was kind of raw. And then I spoke to the father that morning, the following morning. And this is basically what he said to me. And all right, I'm sharing this update directly from one of the dads whose family was deeply affected by the measles response at the regional wrestling tournament. This was a state qualifier in Valley City this past weekend. He reached out to provide his firsthand account, correct some details, and explain how this has unfolded for his family. And I had his permission to share. I have his permission to share. And this is what he shared with me. We're the parents who had to drive out in the middle of the night to pick our son up from the hotel. He was already down for the night, sleeping, when we got the call from the state immunization official, Jen. I have since dubbed her Gestapo Jen. So That's not him saying that. That's me.
State
He told us we
immunization.
needed to get him out of there immediately. The coaches were sympathetic. They felt terrible, but said that their hands were tied. The state official explained that even though our son may not have been in close contact with the person who had measles, because he was in the same gym a week ago and is unvaccinated with a legal exemption, he had to fully quarantine right away. So then they were strongly encouraged, they were pushed to get their younger daughters vaccinated because their younger daughters are also in sports. But again, as I explained to you, they did not vaccinate their kids because of the religious exemption, which I 100% agree with. But so you got to imagine, you get a phone call, it's the middle of the night, you drive 4 hours, they're like, get your kid out of here. He's got to be quarantined for like 21 days now, this and that. You don't want this to happen to your other kids. You better get them vaccinated. You're sleep deprived, you're upset. And so he did. He got his other kids vaccinated. A vaccination clinic was set up in the public health office in Cavalier on Saturday as a result. So this father feels that he was pressured into vaccinating his younger daughters by the heavy-handed approach taken by that health official. After sleeping on it, he called her back to express concerns over what he felt was informed consent. Gestapo Jen told him that she didn't force the vaccination. It was simply a recommendation. Get that? Yeah. The threat to but the dad said it did not feel like a recommendation. It felt like a threat that his daughters' lives would be upended for months unless they got the shot. Quote, this is a quote from the father. Our junior high school wrestler has lost his chance at state this year. He was a big part of why our team made it to regionals. He's now banned from returning to school and sports during this quarantine period. He's devastated, and so are we. After all this, after years of hard work, dedication, and following the exemption rules we chose as a family, this isn't about one tournament. It's about our kids' dreams, education, faith, community, and future opportunities being sidelined in ways that we feel are unfair and overwhelming. Now, this kind of stuff is infuriating for me.
Yeah.
Families with exemption, they follow the law, yet they face intense pressure, blame, and coercive tactics from power-drunk officials, triggering life-altering consequences. Informed consent and genuine choice matters, especially when it involves our children's health and their futures. Now, Jake, so Jake Smith, this guy is brilliant. If you have not watched some of his podcast on Facebook, you really should. This guy knows what he's talking about. Earlier, I was listening to the one you did at around, 6 o'clock. And I put in there section 6 and 7. I think that's their fallback position. So I'm going to take a step back for all the folks that haven't heard what's been going on. What I believe happened is, especially after my post, I believe that the department, the North Dakota Department of Health and Human Services, started a CYA campaign. They weren't taking phone calls. I know this because I tried. I know this because I know other people tried. And they did not take any phone calls. It took them 2 days to craft a response letter for the media. Because by that time, this father and I had been on Jay Thomas. We had been on Rick Jensen. We had been on K-Fire. The story was everywhere. And this little Gestapo Jen told this family the opposite. Like, so Vance, if I told you, like, your kid was, I don't know, 4 hours, 5 hour drive away, competing in a sport competition. He's in a hotel room, and I called you and I told you to come and pick him up because he's an evil, anti-vaxxer. Or, well, she probably didn't say that, and you did that. Would you consider that a recommendation or a hey, you got to come and do this?
Well, my first response would be, well, one, if the rest of you are vaccinated and it works.
Hey, we lost you, buddy. You're gone. The last thing I heard was, and it works. And then here, I'm going to, so back to Jake. Here, let me see if I can get you back in there. Okay, there you are.
All right. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Yeah. So my response would have been, first off, if you are all vaccinated and it works, why are you worried about my kid that's not vaccinated and he's healthy? Do you not trust your vaccine? If you don't trust your vaccine, why should I take my kid to go get it?
These are the same people that said 6 feet.
Yeah.
So yeah, these are the same people that said mask up for a viral. Nothing that they do makes sense. And I actually have a ton of information, and I was gonna save it for my show. We may dig into it on this show. Jake says that there's no legal authority giving them the right to require someone to quarantine. None. And now I looked at the law, like I read every letter. I put section 6 and 7 in your comments, Jake. I haven't had time to look at any responses to it, but I think that's where they're going to fall back to. I think that those two sections, section 6 and 7, kind of give them a little legal wiggle room. But their response is what makes me think that they don't think they have wiggle room, because they completely walked it back. They said they did not do this thing that they clearly did. So I think that Jen's head is going to roll for this. I think she might have been a little power trip. There's so many questions in here. So many like, how did they target that kid is what I want to know. How did they even know that he was there? How did they know he was at that hotel? How did they know to call his family? Like, and I understand what contact tracing and all of that is. But
it seems like he was targeted.
Yeah.
And I agree. I mean, back to your question, if I got that call in the middle of the night, it would make me feel pressured. I would feel like, oh man, I need to go get my kid out of harm's way. If these people are hating on my kid and don't want to be around them, I need to go get my kid out of that atmosphere. So I would feel there would be a feel of a threat, a feel of harm, and I had to go get my kid out of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree. It wouldn't be I wouldn't feel like it was a voluntary action.
Oh, but if you read 6, it mentions subsection 1, which only mentions schools, not athletics. They are good point. You may have made that point, and I overlooked it in your podcast. But yeah, that is a very good point, and that would explain why they are backpedaling the way that they're doing right now. Like, again, with me and the 8-year-old, we're not doing any of that weird vaccination stuff. I don't care how much Rob Port screams over there at the forum that we're killing grandmas and puppies and kittens and whatnot. He can shove all that vaccine right. Well, where the good Lord split him. I'll just say that. I don't like that dude. But the whole thing stinks. Someone had to turn the family in. And see, Jay Thomas made that, like, my brain did not go there immediately. But Jay Thomas said something similar. He said, you think somebody that didn't want to ride, because this kid basically carried the wrestling team on his back. Like, he's fresh off injury. Last year, he was the only one to make state on that team, and now they're in their qualifiers. And this kid's a monster, man. He's grinding it out by all. And I wrote him a letter actually to him and his mom. But by all indication, this is a good, godly, God-fearing family. They're doing everything right. The kid is grinding it out. He loves his family. He loves God. And then to be targeted like this, like that stinks. And Jay
You
Thomas
can take the wind out of a kid's sail by doing that to him. I mean, this kid's got motivation. He's got drive. He's doing good. He's working hard. And then to get blindsided with some attack like that could really take the wind out of a young guy's sail.
Yep.
I mean,
I
you
basically
can
told
totally
him,
derail this kid.
yeah. And I can't speak on it publicly, but I can say that I know that there are multiple organizations that have reached out to this family to help them legally.
Good.
And I am hoping that they take advantage of that. I know for a fact that there are several legislators, multiple of them texted me, and they are going to work on this whole informed consent thing and try to get some penalties in there. So when this happens, it's going to have some monetary value tied to it. There's going to be Wesley Snipes? There's going to be consequences and repercussions for these actions, you know. And I couldn't be happier. This whole thing, yeah. And Jake, I'm telling you, my brain did not go that way at all. And it is government overreach, 100%. The merging of those two departments by Burgum, and I'm remiss to say this. Someone pointed out to me that Governor Armstrong was also instrumental in pooling the resources and the authority of North Dakota Department of Health and Human Services together. And there may be some power there that we're not clearly looking at. But all of that is going to get fleshed out. The question that I had for like the audience here is, one, what would be your response? A guy like me, a guy like Jake, I know, I'd be like, no, I'm just going to get him a hotel room there. We'll be there in the morning. No, I'm not vaccinating my other kids. Absolutely not. And I'll be bringing an attorney with me. That's especially, you know, I'm just ornery and salty by nature, you know. So, and Jake is smart, so he would be smart enough to say that, you know, hey, I'm not doing this. But what would you do if you're a parent? You're not like a confrontational person. You're just trying to do right by your kid and everything, and someone called you in the middle of the night and told you that. What would be your response?
That is one of those situations where it's hard to, if you haven't been in it, you don't know. But I like what you're saying. Yeah, let's get them a room. I'll be there in the morning, and then we're going to talk some legal issues.
Yep.
Because there's been a lot of overstepping here. And what is that position you said? The state immunization official? What even is that?
Apparently, there's a thing.
Somebody that goes around
that thing.
I mean, just some made up stupid position, overreaching government junk.
And why in the middle of the night? This kid has been wrestling all day. You know, why in the middle of the night, man? That I don't get it. That would have, alarm bells would have started going off in my head.
Yeah.
At that point, wait a minute. He's in there with another kid right now. They've been literally wrestling, you know, all day. And now, and the kid that you're the spectator that you're that started this whole thing, that was a week ago. Like, what are you even talking about?
Yeah, I agree with. I don't know if it was Jake or somebody else here a minute ago said somebody probably turned them in.
That's the only thing I could see. Yeah, the only thing, and again, I did not come to that conclusion until me and Jay Thomas were talking about it. And Jay's brain works different than mine. So I'm like, oh, wow. Yeah. And again, when I spoke to the father, like, he's not like me. He's not like piss and vinegar. He's not salty, calm, and so I could see how a woman waving some badge of authority could, I can see it.
Rattle him a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Jen needs to lose her job, and it should be public.
And most people don't follow the law and rights and things like people like us do.
Yeah.
We want to know our rights. We want to stand up for our rights. We don't want to lose any rights. Therefore, we follow laws and legislation and stuff, and we know what we can and cannot do. As where the average person sees a badge and they think, whoa, I better do what they say.
Yeah.
No, you better ask some questions.
Yeah. Just being honorary, Hey, I got a couple questions.
Yeah,
Let's
show me
see
your
how
badge. First, what's the number on that badge? What's your name? Let's talk now.
But the thing that I am very happy for is this thing has gotten a lot of traction. A lot of traction.
Good.
Like, had it happen, like I could see this happening and the story not getting to a big mouth like me and the family just kind of, taking their lumps. I could totally see that. And then this happens. And we saw this during COVID where people just went along to get along.
Because they didn't know better.
Again, I tell this story. I was the network engineer for this region for UPS. So I was from Pembina. So I'm very familiar with Nietzsche. From Pembina down the western side of Minnesota and the eastern side of North Dakota, all the way to the South Dakota border. And so when they told me, and this is during COVID, that I had to get the shot, because I forget what they called it. There was a name for it, essential something or another. I just told them no. I'm not getting an exemption. Like my wife, we fought with her employer. Not going to get into it. I know she's back there going, you better not. But people that I worked with, they were like, what are you going to do? Blah, 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 because they know who I am. And, and are you going to get an exemption? No, I'm not doing any of that. I'm not putting that junk in my body. I'll take the chance. I'm young, relatively young. I'm healthy. I'll take my chances. It sounds like a cold to me. That's what I said. I didn't wear their stupid mask. I did not vaccinate. I did not do any of the exemptions. I'm just not going to do it. But I understand that a lot of people aren't. And my skill set is transferable. And I knew that to replace me, they were going to have to pull somebody from like another region to cover two regions. And the chances of them doing that was almost non-existent. So I did have a little bit of, leeway there. But the fact of the matter is, even if, I was completely replaceable, I would not have done it. And I'm just not going to do it. Some people are just built different, or I don't know, like my dad who keeps coming in here, just honorary for no reason, man. Just and I guess I got that. I am
to a certain age.
Show,
you've just earned the right to say what you want and do what you want, and he's there.
Oh yeah, dude. When you reach 90, when you're knocking on 90, absolutely, you can pretty much do whatever. I'm gonna run some facts to you guys. Oh no, did Restream drop the YouTube feed? I hope not. Maybe because we're talking vaccines and COVID. That would suck. But we're really going to get kicked off now.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. This is from the McCullough Foundation study. Nicholas Hushler, MPH. New analysis of VAERS. That's the data center that for vaccine related injuries and that sort of things. They claim that the MMR and the MMRV vaccines have been linked to far more U.S. deaths than measles infections since 1995. I am going to post that on my social media. I don't want to get kicked off of YouTube or anything, but the findings are startling. absolutely startling when you find out how many SIDS deaths, how many very young kids that got the measles. Uh, and it shocks me that it's not front page news. It shocks me that people like Portley over there um, don't look at data like this. He's supposed to be a data cruncher. He doesn't look at data like this. Even during, again, the COVID thing, I'm looking at data from a ton of different directions, and it didn't make sense to me what they were so histrionic about. Like, kids get it, they pull out just fine. Guys like me get it, we're just fine. If you're elderly and you have comorbidities, maybe it's a problem. But I don't know. All right.
You know, so many people think that us conservatives are anti-vaxxers. I'm not anti-vaxxer. I'm anti-ignorant.
Yep.
I didn't know anything about the COVID vaccine. That thing was developed overnight. That thing was developed so fast. Vaccines like the polio vaccine, it worked. It saved so many lives. My grandmother, who had polio, wishes she'd have had that. I mean, but that was developed over a long period of time with much research and put into it, and to the point where they knew, hey, this works. It wasn't developed overnight. It wasn't developed in a matter of days or months. It was developed in a matter of years with thousands of hours of research. I'm not against people getting a vaccine if they want a vaccine. I'm against ignorance, putting something into your body that you don't know what it is.
And again, my mom, just because we're black and we're Southern, she always had a skeptical eye of the government. So I couldn't even tell you if I'm vaccinated or when or whatever. I have no idea. But something with this whole COVID thing scared the bejesus out of me. And I have right now, my son is never getting, especially none of this new age crap. I don't trust them. They lied about the data, and it's demonstrable lies. They
found out through COVID how they can control people.
100%. 100%.
Feel like that was the biggest part of it, was to see how they can control people, and they found out. Unfortunately, a lot of people can be very easily controlled.
It was bro. Read the book Dissolving Illusions. You'll probably change your tune. Okay. I'll put it on the list, man. Justin says in over 70% of SIDS cases, the kids got their immune. Yep. And that, again, I'm going to put these stats on my social media. It's enough to make you go, wait, what? And it's shocking. And again, I don't think that I would be so vaccine hesitant had COVID never happened. I don't think I would have been. Like, and I remember hearing about, what's it called? The spectrum, autism spectrum, and things like that from the vaccines. And then I kind of was hesitant when they upped how many were in the schedule, and that seemed problematic to me. But then after the COVID thing, I'm full on. I'm like, no, hard stop. Not to be sexist, but they play on people's emotion, and women think emotionally. 100%. Rob Port is a woman.
That's right.
Is that what you're saying, Dan? I'm kidding. But again, when you could see that the data and folks that would talk about it, that would come out, like Dr. Peter McCullough, one of the most decorated people to ever put on a white lab coat, when they silence that dude, you're like, whoa, what's going on here?
Yeah.
It's enough to blow your mind. Now,
some of the most intelligent minds in the medicine and science world were questioning this thing, and they were being silenced. And then you have this Dr. Fauci, who nobody had heard of until this came around, and his word is the gospel. Yep. What?
Not even that. They took his word as gospel when it aligned with the narrative, because he said in the beginning that a mask won't help you. And by the end, he was like, yeah, put on 4 of them.
Yeah.
You're just like, wait.
It sounds like a joke, but he actually did say that.
Yeah. And then
somebody in his
you find out that
organization.
this dude's like, we have a beagle here. My wife has a 6-month-old beagle here. She grew up with beagles. I'm more of a hound dog guy. But to find out the experiments that they were doing on those beagles, and it was him. And you're just like, wait, this is a doctor? And then you dig more into Fauci's past, and you find out about the AIDS deal that he was involved in, which killed many more people than AIDS would have. Like, these people were dropping like flies, and they just kind of covered that up. This dude was the highest paid government official at that time. Dr. Fauci was. Lori, you're right. I believe, and this is one of the things that make me question where this country is headed. I believe that people like Fauci belong in jail. I believe that there's a ton of people that belong in jail. Right now, one of the biggest arguments that I'm having with like-minded folks is the fact that they don't want to vote Republican. They don't want to vote for like Trump or anybody. They're checking out because of the whole Epstein thing. And I can't disagree with them. There has been a level of evil operating in this country.
Yeah.
And people like me, again, I'm salty, I'm ornery, I'm jaded, call it whatever you want. I want to see tall trees, short ropes, and feet swinging. That's after a fair trial, of course. I mean, obviously, after. But to see, like, even today when Prince Andrews, or is it Andrews or Edwards? I forget. They all have same and similar names over there. You're all inbred, too, but that's neither here nor there. I'm sorry, guys.
That's pretty funny coming from a Louisiana guy with an Alabama co-host.
Yep. My first cousin is no, I'm kidding. But even like him being arrested today, and then you look at the charges, and they have nothing to do with, child sex trafficking or
who got arrested?
Prince Andrews or Prince Edwards or.
Shows you how much I keep up with that mess. I don't.
Yeah, but the fact that we could have that, like people, I remember Alex Jones and different people that they labeled far right conspiracy, blah blah blah, talking about that. I remember Pizzagate. I remember like the Wayfair thing. I remember all of that, and going, there's no way this thing could be happening right out in the open, and then we found out with undeniable proof that it was happening, that it was absolutely happening, and all these powerful people were involved. And then we're like, well, somebody's going to jail. And then 2 people went to jail for supplying, but nobody went to jail for committing the acts of, whatever they were doing with these kids. And you're like, wait, how is that a thing? How is that a thing? And so now, I feel like a lot of my compatriots feel. So the only thing that gives me pause is I cannot allow Democrats to win. I cannot make wood chippers great again.
Wow, that's what I was laughing at.
Yeah. But we cannot allow Democrats to win. We just can't. They're transing the kids, man, and they are bat crap crazy. They're scared. They're wee-weed up, Chicken Little syndrome, because we got this little uptick in measles, but they let 20 million third world people just flood across our borders, and like nobody thought about that. Nobody thought about that. I mean, come on. We cannot let these people win. So if I have to hold my nose and vote red, I'm going to do that, because the other side of that is ugly.
Yeah. I've had people ask me if we found out. For one, let me just verify. I'm not the biggest Trump guy. I support the guy. I think he's done a great job, but I'm not one of those giant Trumper guys. Yes, he's conservative. He's done a great job in a lot of areas, but I'm not one of those bow at this guy's throne. I'm
the
just
glyphosate thing.
First off, I don't worship man. I think he's a good president. I voted for him. I worship God. And in the end, it doesn't matter who's sitting in the White House. It's a matter who's sitting on the throne. But off of that soapbox, I want to say something real quick. Jake put up about that book, Dissolving Illusions. I literally just looked it up, and I'm going to read that because I'm not knowledgeable enough with vaccines and all that stuff to speak a whole lot about it. I have my opinions and stuff, but certainly would like to. That sounds like something I'd like to read and educate myself on. So I appreciate that recommendation.
Yeah. I'm grabbing that audio book as soon as we're off air.
That's what I got it on.
Yep.
And I hope I got the right one. It's a female.
My vaccine acumen has gone up quite a bit after COVID. Like my eyes were completely open. And one of the reasons why we homeschool the 8-year-old is a lot of stuff that I saw going on in the public school system. I'm just like, nope. And again, Democrats had 4 years to release the files. They did nothing. And Axel, I'm going to tell you this. A lot of people were PO'd at Trump because he was like, there's nothing there. I don't think he should have said that. But something he did say that didn't get as much media play, he said that the data was corrupted. Now that I believe that the fact that they've had this data for this long and it's not corrupted, I don't believe that that's a thing. I think if they can disappear a guy in prison with 24-hour surveillance on him and make us believe it, they can do anything. I'm just, and even the data that they're rolling out now, I don't trust it. I do wish that people would go to jail. I do, but I do not trust the data. I think that people like Bongino getting in there, and then deer in the headlights with what's his face, Patel. I think that says a lot. I think that we did not read that the way we should have read it to scare someone like Bongino. And I can't even, I used to be a big Bongino fan. I can't even listen to him anymore because I considered him a fighter. And no matter how scary, whatever that was that he saw or they threatened him with or whatever, I expected him to come out swinging. And he didn't. He quit.
Yeah. Well, it was like back to what I was saying. People ask me about Trump with the Epstein files. If I found out he was on the list and that he was over the island doing these evil things, how I would feel. Hanging.
Yep, 100%.
Hanging. Because I agree with political views does not put aside evil acts.
Yeah.
I want to know.
Yeah.
I want to know who's on that list. I want to know if it's because I don't want to be voting for people that were involved in that mess. I don't care what political party they're in. I was taught at a very young age by my dad, always stand on the side that's right, no matter who's on the other side.
Yeah, I'm in the camp that you touch a kid, you should die. And that might be a little harsh. I say wood chippers all around. I'm buying the round. That's where I'm at. Right here in North Dakota, there was biblical. A child.
From my standpoint, it's biblical. Millstone tied around the neck.
Right there. Even in North Dakota here, there was a child sex ring. I think it's still there. And very powerful people were on that list. We had the one guy, and he's 100 years old that they, did the little show trial for and whatnot. But we had other people that actually lost their life in what I believe was the cover-up of that thing. Very powerful people. And I could say names, but I don't want to get sued or worse. But there's a real problem with these people once they get that power, they get corrupted, and not just a little corrupted, like just garbage things. ND needs an animal, 100%. Like I was thinking about just having a show not affiliated with anybody, so to protect you guys and just laying out some of the stuff I've heard. You know what? A brother might have to do that, but what we're going to do now is we're going to run to another commercial, and when we come back, I want to. We obviously we can't hit the. When Clay had his conversation with Dusty Becker and Daryl Lies and all that. So I think what I want to do is go to the Trump's cabinet picks and grade them on how you think that they're doing. And you guys in the comments, feel free to throw your 2 cents in. I'll be throwing my 1 cent in. So we'll do that. See where you're at. Some people are not going to like my grades for some folks. So I'll say that right out the gate there. So give me a second. Let me see. And again, I'm operating in Clay's space. So you got to bear with me. Here we go. Right there.
Lauer Auto Repair, located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Give them a call at 701-258-6308.
The team of mechanics at Lauer Auto can take care of any problem your vehicle is having. And when you do business with Lauer, you can be assured you're doing business with a pro Second Amendment America First repair shop. There are plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area. But why take a chance at patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake. Lauer Auto is your pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at Lauer Auto, don't forget to tell them that you heard they are a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our pro Second Amendment, pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 701-258-6308.
701-258-6308.
Located 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
When you want it done right,
Go where lemons go.
Kalon's Auto Service, owned and operated by Kalon and Misty Foss, lifelong locals with over 25 years experience. From modern rides to classic restorations, they can handle it all. Top quality work, fair price, and honest hometown values. Located just 1 block south of Highway 12 on 6th Avenue West in Lemmon, Kalon's Auto Service, serving you with all your auto repair needs.
Welcome back. Leon Francis, Blackbeard Logic, but this is not my show. This is Clay's show, and it's called Guns and the 701, and we're on the Guns and the 701 network. I'm on with Vance Bishop, who is the host of Sportsman Sunday, and that's at 8 o'clock Sunday morning. My show is Friday. Good God, I just had a brain fart.
Friday nights, Leon.
Friday night, 6 o'clock. And I'm hoping, tomorrow I'm going to have Michael Coachman on, and I'm hoping to have the District 41 candidate on also. I'm just waiting on a reply back. I love that so many solid conservatives are throwing their hat in the ring, especially in Fargo. Fargo needs a lot of help, man. Like a lot of help. So I'm glad that that's happening, and she's a solid one. She's one of those. I'm not wearing a mask. I'm not. She's one of those gals. So Dan Bongino is the man. The conspiracy cultists are mad at him because he saw reality, and the cultists hated that he didn't vindicate their beliefs. I think, and this is another comment. I think Bongino felt he could do more as a podcaster than he could as FBI. I feel he was very frustrated working there. Cough, former aide. Yep. Jake. Yep. I'm just gonna say that here, and he's talking about what I mentioned earlier about North Dakota and the child sex ring. Like, Vance, we'll talk, but
I'm
some of these
familiar with.
people would go. Have you heard about this?
I'm familiar with. I was a minister in South Dakota for nearly 10 years on an Indian reservation, and dealt with a lot of evil stuff. And sex trafficking is horrible in the Dakotas, Wyoming, Montana, anywhere where there's a lot of Indian reservations, because children can disappear off an Indian reservation and not be missed. That sounds mean, but it's a fact.
Yeah.
And a lot of murder, the suicide rate on an Indian reservation is 300% higher than the national average. So a lot of them are written off as suicide when it was actually a homicide, and a lot of them just disappear and it was written off as a homicide. So that person don't exist anymore, and they're in a sex trafficking ring somewhere over here in Atlanta.
Wow.
It happens a lot on Native American on reservations.
And again, you think about things like that, and you think about how little traction, how little justice finds those people, and you wonder if this country is heading in the right direction, man. I'm just going to say it. I think we need leadership. Like, one of the dumbest things that I've ever heard, and I'm not going to say the name of the person that said this, but she said, if we prosecuted everything, if we attacked the whole Epstein thing, the entire system would crumble. I'm like, yes, please. That thing you just said, right?
Where's
there.
The bad part? Where's the bad part of what you said?
Yeah, you don't have to sell me anymore. Let's go. Let's effing go. That's
yeah.
But anyway,
yeah. Where's the bad part?
Let's go ahead and we're gonna we're grading Trump's cabinet picks, some that I found interesting, and you guys, you can fill the comments up with your grade for these folks. The first pick is Marco Rubio. How do you feel? What are we feeling?
I have mixed feelings on Marco. Some things I feel like he's strong on, and some things I feel like he waffles on, which describes a whole lot of politicians, really.
Yeah. I was not always a Rubio fan, but here lately, under the right leadership, I think he's been a boss. His speech to the Security Council in Munich, I mean, my God, man. I mean, you listen to him, and then you listen to someone like Ocasio-Cortez, and you're like, oh my, they're not even the same species.
No.
Yeah.
They're not even
and he
speaking
was
the same
talking
language.
about, sorry. Some of the things that he mentioned there was the fact that America is strong, and we can go it alone, but we'd rather do it with our historical friends, the folks we fought the Second War with, and extinguish evil with, and this and that. But there are issues over there. Like, we think we have issues with rape gangs and that whole thing. They have that times 1,000 over there. And one of the things that I found interesting is Prince Andrew or Edwards, whatever that guy's name is, who is kind of like the crux of this whole Epstein thing. One of the big players in the Epstein thing. He didn't get, like, what he was charged with was tied to the Epstein files, but none of it had anything to do with the child rape part of it. And that just struck me as, wow. In Europe, they have some serious problems. But I don't know. I give Marco Rubio, I give him a B. And I don't think that he is. I've heard scuttlebutt about him having presidential aspirations. I don't think he's there. I don't think he has the presence there. I think that speech is good. And he has done a number of things, especially in front of the camera, that made me go, "Oh, that's great." But I watched him in those debates, man. That dude falls apart quick. See, JD, I did not say her name, man. I want Rubio to be the nominee in 28 instead of Squinty Dad Sweater. So, oh, me and my buddy, we're gonna have a disagreement on this one here, buddy. I don't see Rubio as I don't see him as a viable presidential guy. I mean, unless his debate skills have gotten a lot better. His stage presence has, but he doesn't have anybody on the other side of him, you know, counterpointing him. So I need to see a little. He need to go up a couple notches in there. Yeah, B plus. That's what Brian says. Yeah, I'm right around there. I like it. I'm not A. I'm right around a B plus for Rubio. So now I'm gonna have JD sit on his hands on this. JD Vance. How do you guys feel about JD Vance? I like him.
From what I've seen so far, I like him.
Beginning.
I mean, he's got a great name. I'm just saying.
Yeah, JD Vance. Squinty Dad Sweater. I mean, come on, dude. So I look at this guy. I look at his stage presence. I look at the way he fields questions, even if they're from a instigator type, someone that hates him, and you can tell that they hate him. He goes into these hostile environments and he handles it, knowing his background. And if you guys haven't seen it, you should really watch the little biopic that they did, JD Vance, to see where he came from. It's garbage, hot garbage, man. And just an aside, you hear a lot of black folks like whining about their upbringing and how, people say, lift yourself up by your bootstraps, and how you going to do that if you don't have boots, and, just all kinds of weird craziness. You should read his story, because talk about not a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. I mean, my God. To be fair, Vance can hang with the SEALs working out for 45 minutes. I would make it 10 minutes with them. I like Vance, and I'll put a sign in my yard if he's the nominee. Again, just knowing his background, knowing what he came from, knowing where he is now, having read Hillbillyology, knowing that when he was going through school, he was dealing with some stuff, man. And if you haven't read the book and you haven't seen the movie, I would highly, highly advise you do that. Gives you a little bit of insight into who our vice president is. Did not come for money, and that is an understatement. Like, when I say they didn't have two nickels, they what we would call in the South, they were trailer park poor. They aspired to get to the trailer park when, he was, it was bad, man. It was bad. Brian says Vance is A minus. Yeah, I'm right around that A. Well, back when I was going to school, 95 was an A. So I don't know what it is now, but that I'd put him right around there, 95, 96, something like that. I like him. I think he is presidential material just because of his stage presence, like his background, his the way he's like Trump has this thing where he has no filter. JD has a filter he can turn on and off, and he's comfortable doing either one. Like, he's not a traditional politician, and I can't think of anybody else that I.
You know who was that way, very intelligent. They could be very blunt, but intelligent in how they were blunt, was Ronald Reagan.
Yep.
The guy could come across very bold, very strong, but do it very intelligently. And JD Vance is very much that way. He can be strong. He can be very bold, very blunt in what he's saying, but do it intelligently.
Oh, yeah, I agree. So I'm going to stick him in that A category. Nobody is going to get a, A+ from me. I'm just going to tell you that right now. Let's go on. And now this one is going to cause some contention, and I already know it. Pam Bondi. I don't even know if I want to wait for the comments. I think she's horrible at her job. Horrible. I can't, dude. The binders. When that came out, I'm like, oh, Trump's gonna fire her. There's no way you could roll something out that badly and still keep your job. I mean, this is the you're fired guy with the snake hand. You remember that guy? You're fired. And then you watch her and I get it. These are show trials, and these senators are idiots. Like, there should be a legit IQ test to run for public office. You should have to have a civics test and an IQ test.
Agreed.
Because a lot of these people are just straight up dumbasses. Sorry. Sorry, man.
It's fact.
And to go into that environment, I don't know how I would deal with it. I'd probably revert just like she did. The yelling and the screaming and all of that. Blondie, D, very disappointing. Trump sucks. That's surprising. All right. So maybe you see JD down there? Yeah, I agree. We agree. I thought we would have a little contention there, but no, I think she should have been gone quite some time ago. Yeah. And then I see her, like I spoke about stage presence and being in a hostile environment. She fails on all of that, like every bit of it. And I'm just going to say this. The fact that we don't have people in jail for the Epstein thing, that's a big one for me. That is a massive one for me. Again, I like Bongino. I said this, I forget who I was on with. I was a big Kash Patel fan. Huge. Government Gangsters, man. I read that book cover to cover twice. And I'm just like, so I figured that when he gets in there, and then you got Bongino in there, oh my God, heads are going to roll now. And no, he got caught up. He got caught up. The question is, who is going to replace her? Can Trump? Well, who is and I'm sorry if I sound racist, and I'm telling you before I say this, it might sound that way. But the Indian girl that works under her, she's hot for 60. Otherwise, I'd probably give it her. Dude, this is a good point here. And people are going to be upset with me. I do not like this whole Barbie thing. I don't. I don't like what Kristi Noem did. That's a huge mark against her, in my opinion. Before Trump took office, she took all that time off to get sucked and tucked and nipped and injected and all of that stuff. We don't need that. We need effective leaders. We do not need that. And I think one of Trump's flaws is he kind of has that whole DEI thing. He thinks that putting women in positions of power, especially hot women, that's okay. And Harmeet Dillon, that's who I was thinking about right there. I think she could do a very good job. I also recently learned that 2/3 of the lawyer positions for Trump's administration has not been filled. Oh, due to the blue slip rule. Yeah, I like Harmeet. Like, if you've ever heard her speaking, she's not a Pam Blondie. Nope, she is not. 60 years old. Wow, I cannot. That cannot be real. There's no way Pam. But well, maybe. All right, maybe a C now. I don't know. I'm kidding.
She is 60 years old, November 17th, 1965.
That is insane. Wow, I would have never have guessed that.
She does look.
Yep, your wife is right there, man. So it's mine. So she's listening. But yeah, Harmeet Dillon, I think would be a great AG. Great AG. So I give Blondie a D, only because she's 60, and that's about as far as I'm going with that. Tom Homan. What do you think about Tom Homan and the job that he's been doing? He is the ICE guy. He's over immigration enforcement. He received an award from Obama for the job that he did back then. He's doing the same job now, and they're giving him all kind of garbage for it. Like he has a heavy lift because the last administration again let in like 20 million people and flew them all over the friggin' country. So Brian says Blondie is a D for me, a single D. Yeah. Love Tom. Harmeet is a smoke show. Come on, dude. Come on. Let's bring it up. Eyes are up here. You know. I like Tom. I give Tom an A, especially in the environment that he's working in, especially with all these anti-ICE idiots that are running around. Solid A. I like the dude. Like, he can't speak for crap. I don't know what that is. I know some of it is Southern, so I get it. But dude's a boss, and I think he's doing a bang-up job. I think he could do a better job if Democrats weren't running so much interference. The only drawback that I see with Tom Homan is I want to see more doors get kicked in. I think the fact that they could put on anti-ICE protests in Minneapolis where they legitimately were taking millions of dollars out of the airport there in luggage bags and shipping it and flying back to Somalia. I think the fact that could happen, the fact that they could just lose, well, not lose, but $9 billion just stolen, fleeced from the American people, and they could basically throw a anti-ICE hissy fit just to get that out of the news cycle. I wouldn't have cared.
You know, what's really funny is all the Democrats are upset with Trump and his deporting illegals and stuff, when what he's doing is exactly what Obama and Biden and Hillary all ran on saying they would do if they were elected. He's doing it. Yep. And they all deported more people than Trump has so far.
Yeah. By a lot.
By millions.
Yeah.
But because he's taken a stance on things, it's an agenda. It's a way of them to try and get at him. They've been throwing darts at him for 10 years now and nothing's sticking. So it's just another avenue for them to try and get at him. When it's something they have ran on, it's been a platform of theirs for many years.
Yeah.
But they couldn't get certain things done that he's getting done. So they got to throw darts at him.
I also think that the Democrats have an ingenious plan for those illegals. Like and there's a couple of things here to unpack. When we're talking about illegal immigration and we're talking about voting fraud, those things in my head, they're the same thing. A lot of that voting fraud is coming out of those like in Minneapolis, I think you can vouch for 6 people. I had heard it was 8, but then someone told me it was 6. I could go. Um, say I'm Somalian. I can go and I can vouch for 6 other voters in Minneapolis. That is insane.
So
And
that's
it's the only place
you can vote 6 for 6 other voters.
You can vouch. Like, are they registered voters? Can they legally vote here? And you can say yes to 6 people.
Just on
like
your
if they don't have their ID.
Wow.
Yeah, it's insanity, man.
Wow.
And we would not have known that had not folks like Nick Shirley gone out there. Like right now, Nick Shirley is legitimately going to. He's got the voter rolls. He's going to people's houses where they say that this voter voted this many times, contributed this money to Act Blue and blah, 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 knocks on the door. Nobody lives there. You go there, they're like 20, but they're all P.O. boxes. He went to one house, said the woman was 125 years old. Like, we got to do something about that, man. I think one of the reasons why they're so hard set against Trump being effective in removing these illegals is because there is a whole voter thing component tied to it. And the fact that he got the SAVE Act, that's going to blow a hole in that. Like, there's a lot of moving parts here. And something else you said just a second ago. They've been throwing darts at this dude for 10 years. And when we're talking about the Epstein files, and people are like, oh, Trump's a pedophile, Trump's in that. Do you think for one second that this information, they made up a whole scenario of golden showers in Russia, Russia, and all of that stuff out of whole cloth? Do you believe for one second if they had that information that Trump was tied up with Epstein and that whole thing, they would not have trotted that thing out first thing, and it has solid concrete evidence of it?
It'd be on billboards all over this country, and
Yep.
all over every major news source there is.
Yeah, and it would have been for the last 10 years. Like,
Yeah.
they would have led with that thing. Like, there would have never been a Trump 1 had that been a thing.
Yeah. And their biggest hang up is not the fact that he's deported so many people, because like we said, Obama and Trump or Biden deported more. What he's trying so hard to do is prevent people from coming in illegally. He's trying to build that wall. He's trying to bridge that gap from people getting in so easily. And that's what they're upset about.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. The border crossings are like 0 now at the southern border. We do have a bit of a problem at the northern border, and I'm going to dig into that one of these days on one of these shows. But, wow, time flies. So let's do one more. Caroline Levitt.
Oh, man, I'm glad you brought that one up.
What's that?
I'm glad you brought that one up. I like her.
So, what do you think about old Caroline?
I think she's smart. She's quick-witted. She's extremely knowledgeable of her job, the Constitution. I like her a lot.
Yep.
And not just because she's pretty. It don't hurt.
She's in a family way now, though. So
yeah,
she's off the market. But yeah, I from the first press conference she gave, I knew that there was something special there.
Yeah,
I knew it. I'm like, oh wow! And we just went through 4 years of that other idiot with the weird hair. It looked like Krusty the Clown.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, and her just saying things that were demonstrably not true, and qualifying it as truth by saying, "We know that." Like, no, we don't know. What are you talking about? Nothing that has come out of your mouth in the last 15 minutes has any shred of truth in it. But there you go. Brian says B+. You got to unpack that for me, buddy. I grade on a steep curve, and I'm giving her an A, and you're at B plus.
Yeah, I'm definitely an A too.
Yeah.
I like the way she handles situations. I like how quick-witted she is, how she intelligently shuts people down or answers questions just with a lot of intelligence, a lot of knowledge. I like her a lot.
Yeah. Or Pasaki before her. Pasaki, yeah. Pasaki, though, I think she gave us the dirty Q-tip because she didn't want to be like outshone. I think that Pasaki was actually pretty good at her job. It pissed me off, but I think she was pretty good at that job. But buckwheat, dude. I was gonna say that. I didn't know how that was gonna come across to a mostly white audience. So, see, even me, I couch some of the stuff I say, man. But yeah, Pasaki, I thought like if I were gonna grade her impartially, just her presence and all her stage presence, being in a no, she wasn't in a hostile environment. So yeah, she'd get about a C. That other idiot, she gets it. I can't even remember her name. I've called her so many names that I cannot even remember her name.
Yeah, I've heard her called everything but her real name. So
right, and again, she was a black lesbian, and that administration just has this thing for that. Like I don't understand it. Like, and I'm a black guy. If black lesbians were a thing, I should be, let's do that. But anyway,
I remember years ago somebody told me I was a racist chauvinist because I didn't like Hillary Clinton. I said, really? Let Condoleezza Rice run for office and see where I stand. I'd have voted for her in a hot minute.
Back before I found out all of the stuff that she was involved in, I would have too. Like I was a big Condoleezza Rice fan. Yeah. And then you do your digging and you're just like, oh.
Yeah, there were some skeletons in the closet there.
Yeah. Wait.
But when she was in the forefront and we didn't know any better, she was a powerhouse.
100%.
Yeah.
And she was conservative. She was reserved. She wasn't like that. The idiot with the hair. God, I'm going to remember her name when we're done. I guarantee you. I'm going to blurt it out over my sauce pecan. Yeah, Caroline Levitt, she gets an A from me. Solid A. I was going to talk about Poland also. Like we were talking about gun ownership and that sort of thing, but we're running short on time, so I'm just going to hit this really quick. Poland just blew past 1 million legally registered firearms. Here, I'm going to throw it up here quick. Now, this in itself, to me, says a lot. These folks over there, because, and I'm just going to put this out there, because of the immigration and because of the rising crime. And like they're going to say it's because the officials over there are saying that this is happening because of the Ukraine deal. But it's not. It has nothing to do with Ukraine and Russia. The retired police sergeant said that it's because of the rising crime levels going on over there in Poland. And we look at that like some other countries look at that and go, wow, 1 million. Like that. And again, that is unprecedented there. It's actually closer to 1.2 million and climbing. And
registered.
And over 107,000 new guns last year alone. Permits doubled since 2015. Now, when you're looking at that, you're like, wow. But that's only, 2.5 guns per 100 citizens. So, and to put that in perspective, we are 120 to 125 guns per 100 citizens. So that shows you there's a big gap. Big gap.
bit.
I don't like. I think the most armed nation, like in the hands of the citizens, doesn't even come up to like maybe 50, and we are like way up there. Like, and again, oh, Karina Jean. I should have remembered that Jean Pierre. Yeah, I should have remembered that. But there you go. B plus only because the content she has to defend. Sometimes she handles it great, but it seems to me that there are times she doesn't 100% smell what she's stepping in. Okay, I guess I get. And again, sometimes you got to sell things. Like, I don't know how she's going to put a good spin on this whole glyphosate thing, but that's another show. We're not going to get into that now. We'll be here forever. But I'm scratching my head on that one, and I'm reading as much as I can, and I don't like it. I remember in the last legislative session, I was in there fighting against this thing that I had no idea Trump would be doing. This was for a local thing, for a North Dakota thing, and then I open up my feed today, and there's Trump, and you're just like, wait a minute, what's going on here? But he's better than a Democrat by a damn sight. So, if you're asking me, and again, I think that we're going to have problems in the midterm, but I will not be one of those problems, and I will be doing everything I can to get Republicans, even if I don't agree with them, but on 100% of things, I'm going to try to get them elected because I know what the alternative to that is.
Exactly.
And I don't like it. I got a kid, man. His kid's... He's going to have to operate in this world after Democrats have got in there and mucked up the works. Anything you want to leave us with, Vance?
Keep fighting the fight. That article you put up, one thing that always throws up red flags to me anytime I read a gun article is registered.
Yep.
Registered. Fees, fines, licensing, all this stuff, it's all just ties to the government. It's just all revenue. And I've said it many, many times on various shows I've done with Clay. I absolutely can't stand anything that ties us to the government. We, the people, are supposed to control the government, not the other way around. And right. Clay and I have both preached for many years that licensing and fees, most of the times, is where they have stolen your rights and they're selling them back to you. And we've got to stop that. And this is a whole nother show, but the tax strike, that's something we might need to talk about sometime.
Okay. 100%. And
I'm all about striking for the tax.
Yeah. And I'm right there with you with like gun registries, and like argument that me and JD had was the whole suppressor tax and getting it off of the registry. And well, if they got rid of the tax and blah blah, yeah, but it's not a firearm, I should not have to register this thing. There shouldn't be and granted, I did get a couple. Well, I probably shouldn't have said that. I didn't. I must have lost them on that doggone John boat. Choppy waters and whatnot, man.
A gun is a piece of metal. A suppressor is a piece of metal.
Yeah,
that's all they are. So why should there be any type of registration or any type of tie to what I own to the government? Here's a piece of metal right here. It's a jack handle for a car jack.
Yep.
I'm not even sure why it's in my gun room, but it's nothing but a piece of metal. And I can take this and kill somebody with it.
Yep.
I can't fire a bullet out the end of it, but I could take this and kill somebody with it. So should I register it to the government? Should I have a license for this? What's the difference? Because with a gun, there's a way that they can control it.
Yeah.
They can track you. They can find you. And my wife is very, I love this woman. She's very careful. She doesn't want to say things with her phone on in front of her. She asks me often, honey, do we have enough ammo?
Yep.
I said, honey, there's never going to be a time in life when you ask me that question and I say yes.
Yep.
Never.
Good
so
woman.
I'm blessed to have a woman that wants to be prepared. But I just really can't stand the taxes, the fees, the licensing. You have to get a license to be married, to enter into a holy matrimony. You have to pay a fee to a government. Doesn't make any sense. It's absolute. Everything has to do with controlling the people. The government, for hundreds of years now, from many years back, have turned things around to try to control the people instead of the people controlling the government.
Yep.
And sadly, there's a lot of people out there with a D next to their name that are allowing that to happen. And unfortunately, a lot of them have R's next to their name too.
Oh yeah.
That's the end of my rant.
I'm right there with you, man. I look at some of this stuff like on one of my ARs, the buffer tube ring, that little ring inside, I some kind of way some of the rings got chipped, so it'll still fire, but sometimes you get that buffer tube spring, it'll get out of there, it'll do weird stuff, and so I was just gonna buy the lower. I think it's a 70-80% lower or something like that. Like, gotta register it. Like I gotta ask the government if I can have that little bit. Like if I had it right here, I could throw it at you, and you'd go, "What the hell are you doing, dude?" It couldn't even hurt you. Like it without a stock, without a handle, without any of that stuff. And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, why? Like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
And why would we allow this? Castle nut, yeah. No, it's not. It's actually not the castle nut. It's it's what the castle nut screws into. So that buffer tube. It's the buffer tube. The castle nut screws in, holds down that pin, the buffer tube pin. Yeah. But so I was just going to get that little piece, that little lower, and fit everything that I have on that. Nope, can't do it. You got to go through the ATF and blah blah blah. And I'm looking at the guy and I'm like, you got to be kidding me right now. And then I think about the real ID. Like my ID has worked for me. I'm 50 years old. It has worked for 40 some odd years. Just fine. Why do I need a real ID? I mean, because you guys let in all these illegals and they're giving them out like chiclets, and now we got to go to this thing now? What? Yeah. I mean, what's up with that? And then trying to get us to move to the digital currency. Like, there's a lot that I see going on that I don't like. Nelson, people are just giving me all kinds of. No, I just bought the whole thing, man. So. I was upset though, like that little. And now that I'm thinking about it, that's for a shorter AR too. So I wonder, oh my God, if I change that thing and some dipwad wanted to be an idiot, if he could ding me for that. Yeah, I think I'm talking too much now. Because I think that one is for the truck AR, and it is what, a 10-inch barrel, I think it is, and I think it came with a wrist brace. That's how I bought it, and so now I got to research that. I don't want to take that thing to the range and have some cop be like, "Hey, buddy." The chances of that happening is almost non-existent unless they're listening to me speak right now, and then the jig is up. So it's the front the matter, not the back. What? It's the front that matter. Dude, I don't know what you're talking about.
It's the front that matters, not the back. The barrel coming out.
Oh, sure. Sure. Okay, that makes sense. But yeah, Nelson is for pistol suppressors. Oh yeah, no. I'm not talking about that.
We're about to get into a whole nother show here talking about guns.
So anyway, tune in tomorrow, 6 p.m. Guns and not on the Guns in the 701 network. Blackbeard Logic. I'll be on with my good friend Michael Coachman. We're going to unpack a couple of things. We're going to talk about a couple of things about a couple of things. Should be a fun show. And then tune in for Vance's show, Sportsman Sunday, 8 o'clock Sunday morning. Always a good devotional. And what you get with that is you get some God, and then we're talking about hunting and fishing. Yeah. And then we're all off to church. Yep. Yeah, you're right, exactly. Andy. Right. Yeah, the Nielsen for pistol suppressors. Yep. And I'm not, from now on, I am not going to be pulled into talking about suppressors of any kind. I lost the 2 that I bought in January. I fell right off the back of my John boat, and they can't swim because they're black. Those guys. Anyway, I'm going to try to salvage what's left of Clay's show. He's going to come back and go, what did you do, dude? But anyway, God bless you guys. Good night.
Good night. Take care.